You're not 25 anymore, and that's a good thing. But if your closet still is, it might be working against you. Let's talk about what to leave behind and what to wear instead. This isn't about looking young, it's about looking right. At this stage in life, your style should work for you, not against you. But far too many men over 50 are still clinging to the same habits they had decades ago. Whether it's baggy jeans, tired sneakers, or shirts that never quite sit right, these things don't just age you, they undercut the confidence you've earned. In this video, we're going to walk through the most common style mistakes men over 50 still make, and more importantly, what to wear instead. Because dressing well isn't about trends. It's about making smart, refined choices that respect where you are in life and help you show up like the gentleman you've become. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Dad Jean Dilemma and what to wear instead. We've all worn them, the high-rise light-wash jeans with too much room in the thighs. They were everywhere in the 90s and they were comfortable, sure. But here's the truth. They don't do your body any favors. The problem with dad jeans isn't that they're jeans, it's the cut, the excess fabric, the sagging seat. They make you look wider, shorter, and a little tired. At 50 plus, your style should lift you up, not weigh you down. A better option? Modern denim with structure, shape, and a clean silhouette. Not skinny, not tight, just refined. One of my favorite go-tos is the Buck Mason Ford Standard jean. It's cut straight but not sloppy. The fabric has a bit of weight, giving your frame more presence, and the slightly tapered leg creates a longer line without hugging the calves. You'll find it linked in the description below. If you prefer something with a little more polish, try the Todd Snyder Slim Fit Japanese Selvage Denim. Selvage denim wears beautifully over time. The more you move, the more character it builds. And when paired with a crisp polo or an overshirt, it gives off a quiet confidence most mass-market jeans just can't match. Now, I'm not saying you need to replace every pair of denim you own overnight, but start with one. Get the fit right in the seat and thighs. Make sure the break at the ankle is clean. No bunching, no dragging. Because here's the thing, denim isn't just for weekends anymore. Today, the right pair of jeans can be styled just as smartly as trousers. It's all about the details, the stitching, the rise, the fabric. When you get it right, people notice. They won't say great jeans, they'll say you look sharp. And that's the goal, not to stand out, but to stand tall. Chapter 2. Chunky worn-out sneakers. Time for a smarter sole. Let's talk shoes. If you're still wearing those old athletic sneakers to the cafe, the office, or date night, I get it. They're comfortable, broken in. But here's the hard truth. They're holding you back. Chunky soles, oversized logos, yellowing mesh. They make you look less like a grown man and more like you're headed to mow the lawn. Now, I'm not against sneakers. Far from it. But past 50, you need sneakers that complement your presence, not clash with it. The right pair won't just feel good, they'll elevate everything above the ankle. Take the Common Project's B-Ball leather sneakers. They're minimal, monochrome, made from smooth leather with a streamlined profile. No flashy logos, no plastic panels. They're sneakers made with the same design care as a dress shoe. Or try the Clay Bradley Essentials sneaker. Soft leather, tonal laces, subtle contrast sole. It's refined without being stiff. You can wear it with chinos, denim, even a casual blazer, and still look put together. What you want to avoid are sneakers that look like orthopedic devices. Too much sole, too many layers, and absolutely no neon. Instead, stick with clean lines, neutral colours like white, grey, tan, or navy. And low tops, always low tops. They flatter your ankle and keep the silhouette adult and intentional. And here's a quick test. If your sneakers are comfortable, but your outfit still feels off, they might be too casual for your current wardrobe. Even the most perfectly cut jacket can't make up for shoes that feel like gym gear. Shoes say a lot, especially in casual outfits. And when you get the balance right, style, comfort, and maturity. You don't need loud branding or thick soles to walk into a room with presence. Just a smarter sole. Chapter 3. Graphic tees and novelty shirts replaced with grown-up casual. You've probably seen it before. A man our age walks into a room wearing a graphic tee that says something like Grill Sergeant or has a giant cartoon on the chest. And listen, I'm not here to knock a man for having a sense of humour. But when your shirt is doing all the talking, it usually drowns out everything else you bring to the table. Graphic tees, novelty slogans, or funny shirts might have had their moment. But if you're over 50 and still wearing them out in public, you're not making the impression you think you are. The solution isn't to button up or dress stiff. It's to swap juvenile prints for casual shirts that still feel relaxed, but carry a lot more polish. Start with a well-fitted polo, like the Sunspell Riviera polo. Lightweight, breathable, but structured. The collar stays sharp, the cut hugs the shoulders without clinging, and there's not a logo or gimmick in sight. Another excellent pick is the Billy Reid Pensacola polo. It has a bit more texture, a washed-in softness that makes it feel like a favourite, without looking worn out. You throw this on with jeans or trousers, and you look like you've thought things through, without trying too hard. If you still want the comfort of a tee, go for elevated fabrics and clean lines. Think fine cotton crew necks in solid, rich colours, or merino wool tees that breathe well but hold their shape. You're aiming for maturity without rigidity, that quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are, and not needing your shirt to do the talking. Here's a good rule of thumb. If your shirt has more personality than you're comfortable showing in real life, it's probably not the shirt for you, because past 50, casual style doesn't mean careless. It means choosing pieces that match your mindset. Relaxed, yes, but always intentional. And when you walk into a room with calm, casual confidence, that's worth more than any slogan. Chapter 4. Oversized or boxy fit. Structure is strength. There's a reason men over 50 often fall into the trap of wearing oversized clothing. It feels safe. A little extra room in the torso, a longer sleeve, a jacket that hides the midsection. At first glance it seems practical, comfortable, but here's the truth. That bagginess, it isn't doing you any favours. Boxy, oversized clothes tend to swallow your frame, make you look heavier, and blur your natural proportions. And most importantly, they give off an impression of giving up. Now, I'm not saying you need to wear anything tight or restrictive, far from it. But structure is what brings presence. It sharpens the silhouette. It reminds people that you still carry purpose when you walk into a room. Let's talk about easy ways to bring that structure back without the stiffness of a suit. The Wax London Whiting overshirt is a perfect example. It's built like a shirt, but wears like a jacket. Straight lines, strong shoulders, a clean drape that sits right on the body. Wear it open over a tee or button it up. It frames you either way. Another great option is the Alex Mill linen work jacket. Lightweight, breathable, but with enough form to square off your top half. You'll feel just as relaxed as you would in a hoodie, but you'll look like a man who's in control of his look, not hiding from it. If you're buying something new, here's what to look for. Shoulder seams that line up with your actual shoulders. Sleeves that end at your wrist, not halfway down your hand. Hemlines that follow the shape of your body, not ones that hang like a curtain. And one more thing, don't assume bigger means more forgiving. Often, it just draws attention to the areas you're trying to minimize. When your clothes are shaped well, people notice you, not your midsection. It's subtle, it's powerful, and most of all, it's achievable. You can find the pieces I mentioned and a few others I personally recommend, linked in the description below. Because dressing well at our age isn't about shrinking into the background. It's about refining the frame and letting your character fill it. Chapter 5. The wrong belt, or no belt at all. Here's a detail most men ignore, but it makes or breaks an outfit. The belt. Too often it's either an afterthought or it's completely missing. Either way, it sends the wrong message. Now, I understand the temptation. You've got an elastic waistband, or your shirt's untucked, or maybe you just think belts are for suits. But when you skip the belt, or worse, wear the wrong one, you're not just missing an accessory, you're missing the finish. Because the right belt ties everything together, literally and visually. It adds texture, a touch of polish, and a line of contrast right at the waist that creates balance from top to bottom. Let's talk about what not to wear first. Thick cracked leather with an oversized buckle, glossy black dress belts with jeans, canvas belts that look like they belong on cargo shorts from 1997. These options don't just look dated, they break the flow of an otherwise sharp outfit. So what should you be wearing? Try a woven suede belt, soft, refined, and quietly luxurious. The weave adds visual texture without screaming for attention. It's versatile, bends naturally with your body, and pairs well with both denim and chinos. Or go with a braided leather belt from a heritage brand. It adds depth without bulk. It says, "I've thought this through, even if you got dressed in 5 minutes." A well-chosen belt does something important. It shows intention. It shows you've made peace with the details. And at our age, that's what separates the men who are still trying to figure it out from the ones who already have. So the next time you get dressed, don't ask, "Do I need a belt?" Ask, "What's holding this look together?" Because style without structure, that's just fabric. But style with purpose, that's where presence begins. Chapter 6. Loud prints or flashy logos. Tone it down, not off. There's a fine line between confidence and overcompensation, and for men over 50, that line often shows up in our clothes, especially in prints, patterns, and logos. Let me be clear, you don't have to dress boring. You don't have to stick to navy, beige, and grey for the rest of your life. But the moment your shirt starts shouting louder than you do, it's time to pull back. Flashy graphics, tropical prints, giant logos across the chest. These don't say, "I have great style." They say, "I'm trying to get noticed." At this stage in life, your presence should speak before your wardrobe does. And the truth is, subtlety lasts longer than statements. So what's the smarter move? Go for tone, go for texture, go for garments that whisper, not yell. Take the Sunspell loop-back sweatshirt, for example. It's got that timeless crew neck shape, but with premium construction and a textured finish that adds interest, without a single logo. Or try a heavyweight overshirt, like the one from Everlane. It's built for layering, with clean lines and zero flash. It adds weight to your upper half and makes a quiet impact. Here's the principle. If the cut is strong, the fabric is rich, and the color is intentional. You don't need prints. You don't need words on your chest to say you've arrived. Your presence does that already. And when you do reach for a pattern, make it thoughtful. A herringbone, a muted plaid, a microdot that adds dimension up close but disappears at a distance. Because the older we get, the more we realize something simple. Style isn't about standing out, it's about standing right. So leave the billboard tees behind. Let your choices do the talking, quietly, deliberately, and with class. Chapter 7. The Bare Wrist Mistake. A gentleman always wears a watch. There's something about a man's wrist that tells a story, and when it's bare, that story feels unfinished. Now I know, we've all gotten used to checking the time on our phones, but when did utility start replacing elegance? A well-chosen watch doesn't just tell time, it signals taste, intent, and that rare quality in men over 50, presence. Think about it. When you shake someone's hand, or rest your arm on the table, or reach for your coffee, the wrist is one of the most visible, expressive parts of your body. So why leave it empty? And no, a plastic fitness tracker doesn't count. What I recommend instead is a return to heritage, to something mechanical, grounded, and dignified. Start with something like the Hamilton Khaki Field Automatic, rugged but refined, with military DNA and timeless design. It's the kind of watch that works whether you're in a denim shirt or a sport jacket. If you're ready to step up, the Tudor Heritage Black Bay brings sophistication without being flashy. It carries the weight of tradition and looks just as good with rolled-up sleeves as it does under a cuff. Both pieces are about more than keeping time. They keep you rooted. And that's the key here. When you wear a proper watch, you're not chasing trends. You're aligning with generations of men who understood that style begins with self-respect and a quiet attention to detail. So if your wrist has been empty lately, fill it with intention, not for anyone else, not to show off, but to remind yourself that refinement is always in the details. And those details? They're never too small to matter. You don't need a closet full of suits to look sharp, and you don't need to chase youth to dress with purpose. What you do need is intention, because after 50, every piece you wear says something about how you carry yourself, how you see the world, and how seriously you take the life you've built. Style isn't about impressing anyone, it's about honoring yourself. It's the quiet power of a polished shoe, the calm confidence of a well-fitted shirt, the steady presence of a watch that ticks with purpose. And when you strip away the trends, the gimmicks, and the outdated habits, what's left is something stronger. Clarity, discipline, and elegance that doesn't need to shout. So if you've been wondering where to begin, start with the small things. Replace the jeans that sag, the sneakers that drag, the shirts that try too hard. Trade them for pieces that hold their shape and help you hold yours. Everything I mentioned is linked for you in the description below, because the difference between average and elevated, it's never about age, it's about awareness. And gentlemen, you've still got it.